Hello, everybody. We're back. We're back for another episode of your soon-to-be favorite podcast. Or maybe it's not. Maybe you're going to hate it. I don't know. Who cares? I'm going to do it anyway. So you guys know how it works. I pick a topic kind of random just to talk about. And my last topic was anime with the esteemed Mr. Robert Solomon from This Uncanny Earth. So when you get a chance, go ahead and go listen to that. But for now, you have to listen to tonight's episode. And tonight's episode is bowling. That's right. The great American, is it American? I don't know. But the great sport that some people like, bowling. So let's talk about this. So for people who don't know what bowling is all about, let me break it down for you. It's pretty simple. You go to a bowling alley, okay, which is not an alley outside of, somebody's somebody's apartment complex in a big city. It's a big building, and they have bowling lanes, which are like lacquered wood. I don't remember what the exact number of feet is that they have to be a certain length, but you stand at the beginning of that. And at the end, there's 10 pins, all right? Bowling pins, 10 white pins. And they sit in a triangle with the narrow bit pointing towards you and the wide bit pointing towards the end, okay? And you take a bowling ball, which is a big, heavy ball made out of different things. Some of them are made out of, like, compressed rubber. Some of them are made out of... I honestly don't know. I think it's mostly, like, compressed rubber. You know what? I'm going to look it up. Since I have the power of the internet at my fingertips, I'm going to look up what a bowling ball is made out of. Because I've never really looked. I've never really looked it up before. And probably in preparation for this, I should have looked it up. Let's see. Wikipedia. What is it made out of? What is it made out of? 10 pinballs, polyester or plastic, polyurethane, or resin. So there you go. That's what your bowling ball is made out of. And it has 3 spots for your fingers to go in, like 2 fingers and a thumb, and you roll it down the bowling lane, across the lacquered wood, and try to hit as many pins as you can, as possible. Okay? Every pin is worth a point. And there's a number of sets. Like, I don't remember how many sets there are. I'm going to take a look. Oh, here we go. Here's some extra stuff. It's 15 feet. It's 15 feet. Sorry, I had to step away because cats are trying to chew on electrical plugs in my house because they're bad cats. Bad cats. But it's 15 feet for the lane. Okay. And scoring. Let's see. How many frames? The different like times that you roll the ball is called a frame. Alright, so how many frames is in there now? 12 frames. 12 frames. So in every frame, you get up to 2 throws, depending of this ball, to see how many pins you knock down. If you knock all the pins down, you get what's called a strike, so you get 10 points. If you get half the pins down in one half of the frame, and then half in the other part of the frame, then you get what's called a spare. And if you don't get all of the pins down in your 2 frames, that's it. You don't get another chance. And a machine comes down, moves all the pins back, resets them all into their triangle, and it goes on to the next frame. Or the next player, however it goes. Okay? So the objective is to get as many of these pins down as possible. Right? Now, the maximum points that you can get, according to Wikipedia here, is 300. And that's if you get 12 strikes in a row in the same game, which is called a perfect game. Now there's actually like there's this can be a big deal. Like a lot of people just do this casually, but other people do this in like leagues. You get a whole team of people and you play against other teams and things like that. And there's official scoring and all this other good stuff. And there's actually a World Bowling Commission. Okay. And they actually have their own scoring system. And for World Bowling, a strike is 30 points. And a spare is 10 points. And then an open frame is whatever the total pins that you get. Now, the maximum score is 300, achieved with 10 consecutive strikes. And you get no bonus pins after that. So that's interesting. Now, like I said, people, this is a big thing in America, bowling. Bowling's a big thing in America, in the United States, I should say. I'm trying to get out of the habit of saying America and call it the United States, because America, there's several Americas. There's North America, there's South America, there's Central America, there's all, it's all the American continent, right? So I'm trying to kind of break my habit of just considering the United States to be America, because that is a very United States citizen kind of thing. We always think we're the center of everything, and then when we're talking about America, we're clearly talking about ourselves, when there's multiple parts to the American continent. Tangent over. Bowling. So people get together in like teams of almost like 9-10 people sometimes, but not everybody can do all these games, right? Because if you're up against a team with like 5 people, you can't do like 10 on 5, But they get serious about this. Like they'll have special team shirts made, and they'll have team cheers and shouts and things like that. But to be fair, a lot of bowling is really just an excuse to throw a heavy ball around, knock things over, and drink. Because that's something that happens a lot at, I don't know if it happens in like the big like official league things, but I know when people just go bowling, they usually get pitchers of light beer, which is not my favorite thing in the world. I'm not really a light beer kind of dude. But, pitchers of beer. And, so frequently you'll get people who go bowling and they will get more and more inebriated as they bowl. And some people do better. Some people hit more strikes that way. Some people do, But, I don't know. I think it just evolves into... It's less like a game where you play to win and more a game where you play to be ridiculous. It's kind of like mini golf. We do mini golf here in the United States as well. And it's a very similar idea where you have a little bit to drink. Then you go and you try to get through all the holes with as few strokes as possible, just like regular golf, but with these little tiny courses and things like that. And it's more fun if you be kind of ridiculous about it, if you don't take it too seriously, because sometimes people do take these things super seriously, and then I don't know, it kind of ruins it for me. I kind of feel like it's a casual game, and yes, there are professional bowlers, and there's like a whole professional system behind it. Like I said, the World Bowling Commission or whatever. But I've never been. I'll tell you, I've never been real great at bowling. I've never been real great at bowling. I'm not really good at a lot of sports things. When I was in school, I was a scrawny kid, and I could run really fast because I didn't weigh very much. And because I walked around a lot and ran around a lot, I had a lot of muscle in my legs, so I could run really fast. I could have been a sprinter in like the track teams and stuff if I'd really put my mind to it, but I don't have a lot of stamina either, so I'm good for maybe one I was. I don't know if I'm still good for it now, probably not. But at the time I was good for a couple of good fast runs, and then I'd be heaving and dying on the ground like Good sound effects there for everybody who's listening at home. Let me drink my iced coffee here. But yeah, I've never been very good at bowling. I've gotten a few strikes in my lifetime. Gotten a few spares. It's probably my form, because when you throw the ball, like, you don't throw it. You don't just, like, hurl it like a shot put or like a baseball or something. You have to reach back behind you with the ball and then roll it along the ground. And it's difficult for you to visualize it without seeing somebody do it. But you roll it along the ground with a good amount of strength and a little bit of a toss. But not like hurling it and thudding it and whatnot, because you need it to get speed against the friction of the lacquered bowling lane. All right, and it's made to be smooth. Like they make sure that they go out and like unscuff it regularly, and they make sure it's smooth and as friction free as possible. But you're still going to get friction because that's just the nature of reality, at least our reality as it stands anyway. And so, yeah, and the ball, like, depending on how you do the ball, it can react in different ways. Like, some people can throw a perfect straight shot every time. Other people have perfected a curve where you stand to one side and you throw it, and it will curve to hit the pins at just the right angle. Me, I can do a curve, but it curves badly. It doesn't quite curve right. It curves like, and then it'll go along the side into what's called the gutter. That way it doesn't fly off into somebody else's lane, because, as a bowling alley, there's like all these lanes, because it encourages all these people to play all at once. So there's these troughs, like little ditches, that are smooth, that are made to fit the bowling balls. So if you go off your lane, you fall into if the ball, not you, like if you're running up there, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. But if you're rolling the ball and the ball veers off and goes off your lane, it falls into the gutter, and then it goes down at the end of the lane and falls down into a bunch of machinery that they have custom built that sends it through a tube back to where you are standing, which is pretty neat. I mean, there's a lot of technology that goes on with bowling. Like, it sounds like a mindless game, but there's a lot to it, like the curve and all the machinery and all the contraptions and all that. And you have to wear, because they don't want you to scuff up the floor, right? They don't want you to scuff up the floor. They don't want you to damage the floor if you trip or if you just like catch your foot. So you have to get bowling shoes. And you can have your own, and professional, like semi-professional league type people do have their own bowling shoes. And they're like special soft on the bottom and things like that. You can't use cleats, you can't use anything that's going to like cause damage to the floor. But if you don't have your own shoes, you have to rent bowling shoes while you're there at the bowling alley. And many, many people have worn these bowling shoes before you have. And they may not quite fit right. Like, they might have your size, they might not. And even if it says it's your size, it might be the last person who wore it maybe have worn it out a little bit, and it's a little wider, a little narrower or something, so they're never quite right, and they're shoes that have had people's feet in them, and they stink. And you have to have socks, too, like they require, like they won't let you go barefoot, so you can't go barefoot in the bowling shoes. And if you show up, like, in sandals, like, because it's summer, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go bowling, and you don't have any socks on you, they'll give you those little, like, pantyhose-style socks, those ankle socks things. And you'll have to wear those because they don't want your bare feet in the bowling shoes. And I mean, who does, really? Who does? To be honest, I'm not going to complain about that. So yeah, bowling. I'm trying to remember the last time I went bowling. We used to go bowling when I was a lot younger. I used to go bowling as a member of like my church youth group or something like that. And I don't do church stuff anymore. I'm not a church person. But at the time, it was one of those things where, oh yeah, my parents went to church, so of course we all had to go to church because, what else are you going to do? Stay home on a Sunday all by yourself if you're 8 years old? Okay. So sometimes there'd be special events and things, and we'd go. bowling, or we'd go roller skating, which I was also terrible at, still am. Roller skating, rollerblading, can't do it, fall over, and hurt myself. I do. I hurt myself. So, we didn't do mini golf as often. There wasn't a lot of mini golf in the area where I went to church at. And it was like a more rural community. We didn't have that. We had like big golf courses and things. And I've never been really golfing. I've never been to a real golf course where I actually golfed. I've been to them, but not to golf. But mini golf I did when I was more an older teenager, or had just got out of school. I would go with my buddies or different people, and we would basically act up and be goofballs. So yeah, mini golf was all right. When I was older than that, I would go occasionally to bars with people. I'm never been much of a bar hopper either. Like, I don't go out like, let's all go hit up the bar. I would usually only go if other people were going and they invited me. I wouldn't like. I don't go to bars on my own. It just, I don't know. I'm sitting there drinking when I could just be at home drinking and then have access to my entertainment and everything else at home. It seems much more fun to me. But occasionally we played pool, which I was also not very good at. Not very great at pool. I mean, I'm okay. I don't know. I wouldn't be a good pool shark or anything like that. I'm not great at that kind of stuff. I do not have a lot of athletic ability. I really don't. And I don't mind admitting that. I've never been very good at athletic pursuits. Other than, the running really fast for a while. Nowadays, 40 years old, I'm not in shape. I can't. I would not be able to do that. So, however, bowling. Bowling is kind of fun. I mean, because if you don't take it too seriously, I understand if people want to get into the leagues and then get into like the serious business part of it. But if you don't, if you just go in and just get together with your friends, just like, yeah, let's go bowling, let's whatever, and come up with something like the winner buys a round of drinks or something like that, or buys dinner or something like that. Make some kind of reverse thing where winning is kind of a punishment, but not really, because you're helping out your friends and stuff, and you're all having a good time. That's what I do. I think that's fun, and that's the kind of stuff that I would do, and I would probably go bowling again. I don't know if there's a lot of bowling alleys around here. I'm sure there are. I just don't know where they're at, because I don't think I've ever gone bowling since I've been out here. When did I go bowling last? I don't think it's been any time since I moved. Since I moved to this part of the state, I don't think I've been bowling. In I don't know. I'm gonna ask some people that I know since I moved out here. Out of left field. I'm going to ask. And you guys are probably like, did he really just put us on pause to ask somebody via text message if they've ever gone bowling? I am. I'm really doing that. So yeah, I'm asking right now, and then we'll see if I get if we get a response there. So yeah, bowling. Never been good at it. Still think it'd be fun. I have won a few games. That doesn't mean I'm great. It just means the other people were having off days, or I was just having a great day. I remember a couple times as a kid, an older kid, probably like, I don't know. Yeah, the response is, I don't think so. We've never gone bowling. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I didn't go bowling when I was out here, so it must have been a really long time. So, Yeah, when I was younger, I had some good nights where I'd hit a few strikes, and I'd feel pretty good about myself. I think the highest I ever had as a score in bowling was somewhere in the 200s, but not the high 200s. It was like low two, like maybe 214. No, it would have to be something like. But yeah, I wish I remembered what my all-time greatest score was at bowling. Not that it would matter, at this point, because who's actually keeping track of this kind of stuff? Not me. I just came up with the idea of bowling for the show here. But now that I've been talking about it, now I kind of want to go bowling. What about you? You guys want to go bowling? Hit me up. We'll go bowling. Let me know. Find me off of whatever streaming service you have, and we'll go bowling. So yeah, I mean that's the whole deal about it. It's not complicated. You don't have to be skilled necessarily, but I guess it helps if you're gonna get into like the professional thing and have a league. Because my parents back when I was a kid, they had a league, and that's how I know about it. They were part of a bowling league. They would go with some of their friends, and didn't just go. I mean, I don't know if any of them were really great. I remember them sometimes talking about how they had good nights and bad nights and whatnot, and I don't know. I think they were in a championship once, but they didn't get very far. They had a team name or something, and it was probably something silly. So yeah, that's bowling. So this is going to be another one of those shorter episodes because there's only so much you can say about bowling, really. I mean, I could go on and just recount all my great bowling stories that I don't really remember, but I'm not going to. I got the overview. We had a good time. Did some chit chat, and gonna keep it short, I think. So yeah. Do you guys bowl? Have any of you guys bowled ever? If you have, you can drop a comment on this video and on either YouTube or not YouTube. Well, yeah, it'll be on YouTube. The audio will be on YouTube or here on Spreaker or wherever if it allows comments, and be like, hey, I'm a bowler. I'm dang great at bowling. Hold on a second. I'm answering the person who I asked about my bowling thing, and I could not remember the last time I bowled. Do 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 do. Okay, so that's done. So that's bowling. Once again, if you see this on YouTube or you see it on someplace that allows for comments after the fact, by all means, let me know what you think and if you enjoy bowling, if you want to go bowling, or if you think, if you think bowling is absolute trash, which, you're entitled to think that. I'm sure a lot of people don't like it, or a lot of people don't like some of the other things that I like, and I'm not going to say bowling is my most favorite thing in the world, but I'm also not going to be too offended if you talk bad about it, because, what am I going to do? You don't like bowling? Shun them, shun. Nah, not going to do that. So that's bowling. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next week yet. I usually don't. It's usually going to be one of those things where I'm kind of like, I'll make it up once I get there. Assuming my laptop makes it. Been having some computer problems, different things, and yeah. So hopefully everything will be smooth and I can continue doing this for you guys for the near future. And hopefully you enjoy it. Okay? So there's that. Bowling. That's what's up. And that's all I got for you. So hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did not, well, I don't know. Tune in something else, I guess. Yeah. So that's all. Have a good night.